It has been forever since I've gone live. My light right behind me kind of looks funny, so I'm going to scoot up a little bit. Hi! As you can tell by the title, I want to talk about the podcast today. So I thought I'd just go live and talk about it. Say hi as you are hopping on. I think I'm going to have a vlog for you guys tomorrow that has a chicken and garden update in it. Hopefully I can make that happen. Things have been kind of weird. I've still been feeling a little bit of the weird from everything happening right now. But I have, where did I put it? Okay, I can't at this. Oh, wait. Here it is. I have Clarity and lemon in the diffuser. And I think this is my new favorite blend because they're really nice together. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the podcast. First of all, I wanted to talk about why I started a podcast because I've been asked about it or had it mentioned before, and it took me a time to decide to finally do it. So I want to talk about why. I also want to talk about how that may or may not affect my YouTube channel. Spoiler alert, it really won't. But I also want to give a little shout out to what today's episode on the podcast is. If you were not here for the announcement in a video, oh gosh, a couple months ago, I think now. Let me look. Have I been doing the podcast for that long? When was my first episode? Okay. So, where can I see when it was published? I pre-uploaded before I ever announced it, before anybody listened to it at all. Does that help? Not a ton. I pre-uploaded a bunch of episodes of the podcast. That was April 30th. I think I announced it the following week. So it was end of April, beginning of May. I need lip balm. Hold, please. It's driving me crazy. Okay. I fought it for a long time because I didn't want it to be another thing that I was adding to my list to keep up with that I felt super inadequate for. However I want to say that. That wasn't great wording. I felt super inadequate for a podcast. Mostly knowledge of how to even do it, to even upload a podcast somewhere, and how I would record one with the audio quality I wanted, because I don't have a microphone. I had none of that. And I knew they were expensive. So I didn't want to add more content I had to try to keep up with, or the stress of not even knowing how to do it. So I was very leery. And I said no for a long time. I always thought it would be cool. I always thought I'd love doing a podcast because I am obsessed with listening to podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time. I have way more podcasts I'm subscribed to than I can even keep up with listening to the episodes as they come out. So it wasn't for lack of enjoyment of it or a desire to. It was everything else I mentioned. And within one day, probably that day, April 30th, because it all happened really fast, I watched some YouTube videos that not only explained some things to me that made it a lot easier than I thought, but also gave me some inspiration for what that would actually look like for me personally. Like, I thought of the name really quickly. Yeah. So I watched Shelby Church's video about podcasting. And in that video, she talks to a lot of people who do podcasts that she's friends with and kind of delves into what it entails, what it looks like, and all of that. And that's where I heard about Anchor, which is how I distribute my podcast episodes now. And that started me down this road of, oh, wow, that looks like it's a lot easier than I was anticipating. So there's where I can upload them, right? And then I just had the inspiration of, well, I hear a lot of people comment on my videos that they love just listening. Like they'll play it and listen. So I thought, okay, there's a lot of my past Turner syndrome videos that I could just pull the audio from, do a little bit of editing, but not an intense amount because they were all already edited, and upload just the audio as a podcast. And it was amazing how easily everything to start the podcast fell into place. And then I kind of became obsessed with looking for old videos to work on for, like, it started me down a road that I was very excited about. And it all happened really, really fast. And I've really, really enjoyed it. So there's a lot of things that I talk about in my videos that I kind of end up just talking a whole lot. And that's part of what made me feel like I'm great for a podcast, because I talk a lot. And I think that's what's made me always like, oh, I love that idea. So the way the podcast works is only my Turner syndrome videos. Typically, I did do the one I did on social media, but that was kind of I just felt like I wanted to get that out and share it with people. But every time I upload a Turner syndrome video, I also upload the audio as a podcast episode. Now, it will be slightly delayed because I'm still catching up with some of my old ones I wanted to upload. So not all of the current videos are up right now. In fact, there's only one besides the social media one that's actually a current, like one of my more recent Turner syndrome videos that's up right now, because I've been uploading all of the videos I've done before the audio of them, if the video pertains to it. Now, there are going to be some videos that aren't going to work to do just the audio of. And I'm not going to try to make it work. If it doesn't work to upload the audio, that's just not going to be a podcast episode. That's going to just be something that is available on my YouTube channel. But for the most part, a lot of my Turner syndrome videos work just with audio, a decent amount of them. So it's really cool for me to be able to offer both. If you want to watch the video's there. If you want to watch or just listen to the podcast and listen to the audio, that's there too. The other really nice part about the podcast is you can go back and listen to some of my original videos that I did, that I've been slowly uploading, and hear some of the initial content I made, some of the initial stuff I was talking about, which is really, really fun. Going back and listening to those to like edit, to post was really fun. It was a walk down memory lane I was not anticipating, and it was really cool. So yeah, that was what changed my mind and made me shift into, oh, maybe I do want to do this as a podcast. Maybe I could do that. And maybe that actually would be a really cool thing to do. So the name came to me really quickly. Coffee and Turner syndrome. What better could describe me? And then looking into old videos, it became very clear what ones I wanted to post. Yeah. So that was how I started all of it. So I went on Anchor, set everything up. I did the name. I made a little art graphic, scheduled 3 or 4 episodes to start, all ready to go out. It's once a week. So a new episode is live on the podcast every Wednesday at noon Pacific Standard Time. And if you follow me on Instagram, I post the link to it on Spotify in my stories every week. So you can find the link and click there too. I just had another thought I was going to say too. I can't remember. So that was what pushed me into it and how I started. I started doing the backlog of videos I've done. Hi. And then now I am posting all of the chats that I've done so far in order of when I did them. So last week I posted my conversation with Lindsay. Today my conversation with Dana went up, which is really exciting. And next week another conversation will be going up until I finish those, and then I'll go into some of the more current videos I've done. Yeah. So that was the podcast. That was kind of how that came about. I was very scared to even look into it for a very long time. It just seemed really overwhelming. And I wanted to focus on my channel. And then I thought, well, not every video I do is Turner syndrome, and not every Turner syndrome video is actually applicable for just the audio being uploaded somewhere. You know, there's like the website deep dive. That can't be a podcast episode. You have to see what's going on. The video reactions, stuff like that aren't going to be the videos that go up, but when it does, I will post it. Trust me, I have plenty of other content to post there when that week doesn't have a video I can put up. But yeah. So the link is always in the description of my YouTube channel videos. Yeah, podcast. I started a podcast. I feel like I announced it the first day I uploaded, the first day I announced I had it. And I haven't talked about it a ton on here. I just announced it, and I've maybe mentioned it once or twice since. But there is podcast episodes to listen to. So today's episode that went up at noon Pacific time today is my chat with Dana. And every conversation I've done for that series has been incredible, but each one I love for different specific reasons. I really love the conversation that we had about this certain thing or that certain thing, and it's such a unique conversation with everybody. There's something new with each. And my conversation with Dana, we really touched on the science behind Turner syndrome and what that means, the importance of understanding it, how it makes all of us unique, and also what the science behind it says for us. It's a video form also, like I've mentioned. So you could go watch the conversation. There's also now the podcast episode that's up. So the science behind Turner syndrome is incredible. In fact, that's kind of the name of the podcast episode. The science is incredible. My chat with Dana. It's just really crazy to look at. It's really intense when you look at how unique all of us are, and what the science behind Turner syndrome really says about how unique all of us are. And that was one of my favorite parts of my conversation with her. We shared how unique our stories were and then talked about the science behind things. And yeah, I really loved this conversation. I really loved my conversation with Lindsay too. That went up last week. If you didn't see the video for both of those conversations are up on my channel. You could go watch them. Yeah. So I'm just really excited for that. I've really enjoyed uploading podcast episodes, and it's just been really fun. So go check that out if you like podcasts. You can listen to some of my old videos, and then when it's applicable, new episodes will go up each week of my current videos when they're applicable, is what I meant with that. It sounded like it was questionable if it would go up each week. An episode will be up every week, each Wednesday at noon Pacific time. So translate that into your own time zone. I'm not good with time zones. So yeah. But that's the story of that. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on it. A lot of people are really excited there's a podcast, and it's just been really fun. So I'm really happy I did it. It has not been overwhelming. It's literally just been so much fun. So I'm really glad. And I hope you guys enjoy it. If you go check it out, let me know what you think. The link is in the description, like I mentioned. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about the podcast or ideas for Turner syndrome topics. I'm always looking for new Turner syndrome topics you guys are curious about or want to hear about. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Yeah. And I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully soon with a vlog with a garden and chicken update, because that's coming. Yeah. Okay. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.